What's up, everybody? Good morning, good evening. Episode 254. I'm back in the producer seat. It's been a little bit. In fact, I didn't re-hook up my audio interface since the MVP Open live show at Polar Park. So I think this is sounding good. My volume correct. Hopefully. I adjusted a few things, but we're going with it. Josh is here. Nick's here. We'll get to them in just a second. But as always, we would like to make sure that TitanDiscGolf.com gets all the love. They've been supportive of our show all year. We love to continue to return the support to them. Competitive pricing. 35 plus thousand discs, unique molds, or not unique. That'd be cool if they were the only ones with molds that you can't get anywhere else, but not unique molds, unique stamps, exclusive stamps. And definitely support them over there. We appreciate all that they do. TitanDiscGolf.com. It's different than supporting their brick and mortar, which that's a whole nother thing. This is a whole nother venture. So we appreciate what they're doing over there. Speaking of which, Matt Schlabach ended up staying at my house for the whole week of MVP Open. So you, again, face to the name to the face kind of thing. So that was really cool. Ended up getting to do a steak night with him at Simon's house and the whole thing that you get to see on social media. I got to taste and partake. And Josh, you were there too. So,
yeah,
all right.
It was fun.
We appreciate that. And so you guys, okay. Just a quick break. You remember pre-show I was talking about this fly? This like gnat fly?
Yeah.
No joke. I've been trying to get it. Josh goes, people don't know what you're doing when you try to clap and get the fly. They can't see it. No joke. My hand is down near my cursor and I'm about to do something and I see it in front of me. And I literally do this. I just stick my thumb and my index finger together so fast and I got it. I'm so happy right now. It's over. It won't bother me anymore. Oh, man. So we got guests lined up tonight. Paul KRANS and Harry CHACE. Both really some good storylines this year. So, Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, this is since I would say we've all been together, but where's Ben? Ben's not with us.
Where's Ben been?
Yeah.
Where is Mr. Ben?
I think he's on a flight.
Yeah, he's busy with disc golf. I presume he's flying
USDGC.
Yeah, towards the next big disc golf event.
Probably Charlotte.
Yeah, but yeah, so we've kind of had a scattered schedule a bit with a live show on a Wednesday night, which means we skipped a Monday night. Then we had, Matt, you were missing. We talked about you a little bit. We said you did a ice cold plunge. I'm not sure.
I listened back and I was happy to hear Cole give me kudos on that. I'll tell you what, that was my actual feeling. If I was to explain this in as short as possible time, it was like horribly torturous, but like mental challenge, like for sure. He acted like 46 was like warm. I think he's like, I don't know. Some people do colder. Then I'm a wimp. When I got in the 46, I was like shivering and like felt like I had to jump out. I ended up mind over matter, breathing, like as much focus as I could. When I got out, felt great. But I don't know if I could do that every day like him.
Yeah, you would adjust a bit. But yeah, so we're not going to talk a ton about MVP Open. It's 2 weeks old at this point. But Matt, any other reflections from you? Because I think what's interesting is you live and breathe it because the proximity for you. You obviously said you had Schlabach at your house. You had Cole around, other players. You had me begging you for parking. No, not begging. But just like it's a pretty epic event. Was it fulfilling for you, MVP Open?
Yeah. So over the years, previous, obviously Vibram Open, then Maple Hill Open presented by Vibram, and then the Maple Hill Open, and then MVP. Every year it's its own iteration, and now it's quite frankly in my backyard. This was in some ways the best yet, and in others it was kind of unfortunate. I had to leave early for a work trip, but the experience was fantastic. And now granted, my perspective is a little different. I get to like just literally walk out, go, come back home, back and forth, enjoy the amenities of there and in my home. But incredible. And I don't know if this came up in the interview with Cole, but Nick, when he showed up to my house, parked his RV in front because he likes his RV. Frankly, I would too. He gets his own personal space, but he also gets the convenience of having a residence, right? So he pulls up, get him situated, and more or less I look at him, and some people are going to say I'm a horrible man, which frankly, that's okay. I embrace that. And I look at him and I go, Cole, we only let champions stay here. That's what I told him. Like day one, we only let champions stay here. And he looks at me and he goes, well, Gannon didn't win because Gannon has stayed with me too. And I said, Gannon hasn't been back. It's like, I was like, so I was just playing with him, like only champions stay here. So it was really fun. The next day, I texted Cole or something. I said, hey, good job or whatever. He responds with, in quotes, only champions stay here. I'm like, that's right, bro.
Nice.
So that was really
awesome.
cool for sure. And then obviously just the event in general. It's always spectacular watching how it unfolds and Missy coming back. Just unpacking all those thoughts and feelings related to the event. It lived up to it. Unfortunate rain day one, which is wild after a drought of a summer. But good news, it was fantastic weather following day one. So all around wonderful.
Yeah, always fun in that event. Obviously, it's been around for many years, a lot of history, but the way it's been positioned really towards the end of the season now for several years running as a playoff event. I think it continues to kind of culminate right at the end of the season. Obviously, we've got a major and a championship left. Extra storylines this year, which everybody may have mixed feelings on, but right, players getting to play in or not. Just lots of excitement. And on the ground, I think it's a unique venue, and you bring all the people in. It's just like, it's pretty epic. It's all time. So,
Josh, before you continue, I think I heard saw some text messaging back and forth last week while I was on work. Ben was adjusting your audio on your end, meaning having you do it. If you don't mind going back to what you thought you were before, we'll probably have a better sound because my system is different than his. And
yeah, I think I did. Was there a hint that you thought it was wrong?
No, I just think that his system, he was having you navigate it on your side, where I think you should just keep your audio at a set and the producer would adjust it. So I'm trying to get you back to normal is what I'm doing.
I think I'm back to normal.
Okay.
Unless you think.
The chat can let us know. But anyways, I think we're probably good enough that I could fix it later too. But live listeners, let us know. And Nick, you unfortunately didn't get to really see much on the ground there at MVP.
Nope.
You're the presenting sponsor. No, not the presenting sponsor.
Yeah.
The presenting sponsor of the $20,000 prize, which was wild. We can talk about that in a minute. But Nick, your employer, he'll put up $20,000 for them to throw for a CTP, but he has you sitting at a fair.
Fair and running appointments, a little bit of both. But yeah, I did. We did the Big E Fair, which is like the biggest fair. It's massive. And we set up a booth and we try to get appointments. We talk to people, we get appointments, and then I go out and run any appointments for people that I talk to, right? So unfortunately, one of the guys who was supposed to cover the Sunday night shift, he supposedly got sick. Who knows? And I ended up, last day, I ended up getting to have to go out there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the last day you ended up getting sick.
No, I wish I had that excuse, but no, because I would have been at the ECMR 10 at Maple Hill. So, no, unfortunately, but I got to hear, we had Silva stay at the house and then Paul Macbeth stayed at the house. So I got to hear kind of the recaps of everything and watch a little coverage. I watched as much coverage as I could. Even when I was at the fair, I would just take the first couple of hours and just watch MPO and get some paperwork done. So it was great. I was bummed not to be there in person. It actually is, I think, one of the best, if not the best event to attend in person. Every single year, it feels like it comes down to hole 18, regardless of the division, and it comes up with a big shot. And obviously that was Cole's time to shine this year. And watching him and Gannon go back and forth, it was insane. The amount of lines that they were puring, all the birdies they were getting, and then the gutsy play of going for it on 18 was absolutely insane. And it was great to watch.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'm lucky I was able to see them tee off. I was I posted a picture. I didn't say where, when, but like right before their tee off, I was like, hey, Gannon, let me grab a picture with you before I go. And then Cole looks over Gannon's shoulder. And the funny part to me is that's like, I'm coming to get you. But he was just going in the picture to smile. You see Cole over Gannon's shoulder just smiling. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So I watched a fair amount of it in the airport. When I took off out of Worcester, I got to see the course from the air. But yeah, so cool. There was something I wanted to mention at the front of the show here, just because I think it could be fun, and it is fun for me. Down in Knoxville is where I was. And whenever I travel, there's a time and a place where I have a little bit of freedom and time to get out after work and go catch a local league or just a course that looks interesting. And I end up, through connection at the MVP Open. By the way, we should get her on, Hannah Manis. Those who aren't as familiar, she's a touring FPO player who is going around and playing. And I also met Hannah Stefanovic. I bought 2 Hannahs in one place. So I got their contacts, so maybe a future interview. But I asked Hannah Manis, she goes, I'm from Knoxville. And I was like, I'm literally flying to Knoxville tomorrow. What should I do? She gave me a course. Tommy Schumpert, I think is how you say it, the name of the course. You should definitely check that course out. Okay, great. I show up for league and just talking to people there. One thing leads to another. This guy walks up and he's like, you have a YouTube? Because someone else was talking about it. And this doesn't happen all the time to me, but it just so happened that the guy who runs this league is like, oh, I listen. Other people kept saying, oh yeah, we listen. Then one guy's like, just stop talking. It sounds so weird. Like your voice in person is so weird to me. Like, okay. Well, then Nick, so that's a little fun, to have the familiarity. Yeah. People know you, you don't know them. It's a little awkward, but fun. Well, I'll talk about 2 things here, but one is, Nick, you'll be surprised to find out who walks up to league, like right as we're about to walk out, and I stare at him and I go, my brain's trying to wrap around, like, there's no way this person that you're seeing here, because you're at a random place in a random time, like just pure random. And it's Josh O'Coin. You know Josh O'Coin? Yes, yeah. Nick. Yeah. Like team buff, like Casey White team buff, like him, like, and I stare at him and I'm like, my brain's like, what? So I'm like, why do I know you? That's what I said. I knew I knew him. Or I said, who are you? And because I was like, maybe he's just like a lookalike. He's like, Josh O'Coin. I'm like, he's like, I knew who you were. He's like, but it was weird for me because I didn't expect to see you here. And so totally crazy. But the other thing I wanted to say was shout out to Ethan and Josh, 2 other guys there. I told him I'd give them shout outs. But Ethan got paired up with me for doubles. And some of you were saying, sorry, Ethan, that probably was a horrible time. But I'll tell you what, Ethan said he was like an 840 rated player. And I'm like a 940 rated player. We totally swapped for sure. I was throwing like 840. He might have been throwing near 1,000. No joke. Yeah. We were 1 score off of the lead for the whole league, which was awesome. The kid tore it up. I don't know how his tournament ended up, but shout out to you, Ethan. Hope it went well. There you go. Sick. The disc golf community is crazy, guys. You can show up anywhere at any time and somehow you'll meet someone you know. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
So I know we're getting close to an interview, which is awesome. We'll come back to some of this, but that kind of wraps up the normal part of the year. We've got 1 major left and then a championship, and maybe we'll come back to it, but I thought I'd just mention today, you talked about disc golf community. It's a little bit of a stretch, but is the Monday qualifiers for USDGC and the Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship. It's always kind of a cool, like none of our other events do this, right? Where you have to qualify to be in the event, and there's a standard qualification method throughout the whole year, right? Lots of players really grind and work and seek out the events, and they earn a spot. But then I think there's a tiered registration system. So like there is some kind of hierarchy to getting into the Monday qualifier, but for the most part, you just have a wide range of, like in MPO, like when I say MPO, really there's only 1 division in USDGC, but they had 104 people try it today.
Wow.
And I believe they're only taking the top 5.
Yeah.
So I just looking at the scoreboard. So I haven't seen USDGC publish this. They very well may have, but if I look at the scoreboard, PDGA Live, congrats to 5 players making it in. So again, I'm going off of the scoreboard. Hopefully there's no exceptions to that. Lucas Carmichael, Derek Saar, Linus Carlson, recognize the name on tour.
Sick.
Bo McLaughlin, recognize that name. Kyle Crickhouse. So if the leaderboard is really how it falls, then that's who made it. And like some of those players, I know ratings or whatever, but like I don't know much about a few of them, but like rated 10, 11, so like they're good players. but playing like 1066 and 1055 in this qualifying event. So it must feel good. Obviously playing well, playing consistent. So congrats to those players and somebody like Linus, right, who's a name we know from Tour, playing well enough to make it. So congrats to them. In the Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship, which is not a major, I think we saw Kona, Star Montgomery, right? And then there was some 12-year-old player. Does someone know who made it? I don't have the name in front of me.
Oh,
some young
I read it earlier.
Yeah,
is it Eva
Lutsenko? Yeah, I wasn't going to get it right.
Lutsenko?
I probably saw it on social media. She's pretty young, right? So that's like, well, congrats. I mean, that's awesome. Get a chance to play in a big event like that with some top pros. So I thought I'd mention that off the top.
Yeah, Paul, can you hear us okay? Thumbs up. I don't want to bring people in without them. Okay, and then give me unmute if you don't mind. I want to just get an audio test before we bring you in. Okay, cool, perfect. Somebody who did not have to play the qualifier, the Monday qualifier. Let's bring him in. Paul KRANS, everybody. Welcome to the show, Paul. We've had you on before. We figured, it may not be an off week for you. And in the tour, it kind of is. You played an event or two, but man, you've been showing up. You've showed up all year. I would have given you credit for the whole year, but like lately, we're just going to talk about that for a little bit. I mean, you really have showed up. Smugs to MVP, and now you want me to mention a second place, the Casey White at Nantucket? I mean, and Harry Chase, who also is following. Harry Chase is also following up after you tonight, so we'll get him on too.
Yeah, I played good at Nantucket, so been following. It's 3 weeks in a row of solid disc golf. I believe this month I averaged 10.43.
Sick
for the whole month.
Sick.
Oh, dude, I was looking at your rating and I was like, I don't think he cares too much about rating anymore, but I was looking at it and I'm like, man, you and Harry and like Kate, everybody's like, you guys have exploded in that. Okay, I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, next update, I might hit a career high. I should have hit a career high. Probably 1032 plus.
Dang.
Dude, it just means you keep playing better. That's all it means. I mean, forget the number itself. If it keeps trending up, you're playing better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like the rating system, just because it like, I compare entire months to each other. So like this time of year, last month, I averaged 1023. And just to see the improvement to average 20 points higher is like, it just shows the work paying off.
I was gonna ask, man, is it less mistakes? Is it just like it's fewer mistakes? Is that what happens, or is your skill level rising?
I would say, yeah, my bad shots are good. Or like they're better than
skills rising.
My bad shot.
Yeah.
I've only shot 6 rounds below 1,000 this year. So I think last year I had like 15, something like that. So man. I mean, overall, it's like, my mistakes are to 30 feet instead of 50, and then Circle 1X putting has been great this year. So yeah, basically just being more confident in myself. And shout out the Mayhem, my distance driver lineup is saving my life compared to last year. So every hole, step up to it with a confident distance driver is makes it a lot easier.
No doubt.
Does it have anything to do with just familiarity coming back like Northeast on the tour at all? Is that like a factor for you? Just the comforts? I know you're not literally home, but like as soon as you're in the Northeast, people tend to know your name a bit more, and you're probably getting a little more people rooting for you. Do you feel that?
Yeah,
is that a factor or no?
I would like to think it's not the main factor, but it is definitely a factor, that being back in familiar territory. I mean, I've played Maple Hill, I've played Vermont, and even Deglow I played good out there, but I've gone out there multiple times now. So yeah, being in a bit more familiar area is a huge factor. But I also just feel like the just shot selections have kind of clicked with me lately, and my bag is super locked in. So this time of year, it usually I get exhausted this time of year. Like last year I was injured and kind of just like fighting through the weeks, but this year it's a lot more focus and my mentality has changed a lot. That's been a big factor. Is I no longer look at scores throughout any of the rounds. Like all 4 rounds at GMC, I didn't look at the scores a single time until hole 18, the final round.
Why is that, Paul? Paul, why is that? Like from your perspective, because like some people like to look at scores. So like from your perspective, what does it do for you?
Well, I mean, the game plan doesn't change no matter what the score is. Obviously, if you're gonna win, if you lay up a putt, that's a different factor. That's why I looked at the scores on 18, was to see if I needed a birdie, or if I could just get away with a par. And I saw that I needed birdie to get solo fourth instead of tied fourth. So yeah, just like knowing if I have to push or not, that's the main factor of looking at a score. But me not looking at scores kind of just took my mind completely off of it, played one hole at a time. I tell myself to focus for one more shot, even if it's the first shot of the tournament. Instead of like, I have to focus for 18 holes. It's just like, lock your mind in on this one shot that's in front of you and focus on that one. And then you get up to the next shot, and I tell myself the same thing, focus on one more shot. Kind of take some pressure off of it to have to stay locked in all day. It's just, only one more left.
When did you start doing that? You made it sound like you started mid-season.
Yeah,
right?
I did that. I did that at GMC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, it's you talked about the big picture, your overall improvement. Only a handful of rounds below 1,000. So like, I know it's the full year, but I'm just really curious because you had your 2 best finishes all season were the last 2 events, right? So yeah. Just like Matt asked, was it less mistakes? Like, and you said it's more confidence, but then you just talked about not looking at scores. Like, do you feel like you've discovered like a new approach here, even in the last few events that hopefully is like momentum going forward?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not scared of an outcome anymore. That's a huge factor of, I've always felt, I've had a monkey on my shoulders I would say even last year, because last year my best finish was like 28th or 30th. I think Worlds was my best finish and I came in 30th. I don't know.
You came in 31st at Worlds and 27th at GMC last year.
Okay, so 27th, yeah.
Was your best.
It took until GMC was the event that pushed me over the top 90 last year to get a tour card. So last year my best finish was 27th, and this year, I mean, like I've always wanted to, get my name out there on Disc Golf Network and on Joe Mez and all that.
Yeah.
And then this year I was like really trying to make a push for it, and I came so close so many times. Jerm described it as I shot amazing rounds that kept me in the top 20, but never good enough to get me over the edge on that lead card, chase card, third card appearance. And I was never playing good enough to have a camera run out to me. So I've had a monkey on my shoulders to perform very well to, get over that peak, I guess. And once that happened at GMC, I feel like a lot of weight was lifted off my shoulders and I didn't have to complain anymore. Like Cal Longquist, he's my best friend and he knows how much I complained about never being good enough, even though like I always would say my good is never good enough, because I would shoot a 1040 rated round, but you guys know that 1040 on tour is like a nice 20th place finish,
which is wild.
So yeah, it is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So once I got over that edge, it was like a lot of weight was lifted on my shoulders.
Yeah, so not to interrupt, but a stat to that point. Like, so you said last year 27th was your best finish at GMC. This year you had 10 events that placed better than that.
Yeah.
And that was your best. Yep. And this year, 10 out of whatever it is, like 16 total events or something that you've played are better. So and it's not like the field changed, right?
No.
Like, so that's
no. If anything, the field got better. The field got better and the courses got harder. So.
Yeah, well, congrats on that. I think I remember having some side conversation with you. I forget when it was. Well, anyway, but yeah, you were just really focused on qualifying I mean, obviously it's the big picture. I think this was one thing, but we were talking about the Pro Tour Championship, and that's always kind of an aim to try to get in that. And you were right on the line, right, for much of the year, I think.
Yep.
You really you quote unquote easily, that's not the right word, easily made it in the end, right? You weren't hovering right on that line with those really strong performances. But just talk about that sense of accomplishment. Like, that must feel good to make it into the championship.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was in the top 20 for a good majority at the beginning of the year. So I was feeling confident and really happy with the performances I was putting up. And then the European swing happened and I hit kind of a mental slump. I missed 4 events of points, and while I was away, everybody was shooting like 1100 rated rounds, and I was over at an A tier, and I was struggling to shoot a 1010 rated round at Warwick, and I kind of hit like a mental.
For our audio listeners and video listeners, KRANS just froze up, so we'll see if we can get him locked back in here in just a second. Paul, if you can hear us, let us know. In the meantime, we're going to sit tight. Looks like his signal is red, so we'll sit tight until he's either back in or... Can you hear me, Paul?
Red means dead.
Is your phone... Can you hear me, Paul? Okay. We're doing the same thing that we do to Gannon. We're asking for way too much information. So let me adjust that real quick. All right. Maybe that will help a little bit. It's now showing green again. Let's bring him back in. There you go.
Hello. I tried to find the best parking spot I could.
You're fine. I don't think it's your cell signal actually. I think it had to do with the phone maybe. I was asking for way too much data. We were doing like HD 60 frames a second. That's too much for it looks great, but it's too much really. So you're fine. So you were saying you're struggling to shoot some normal rounds at an A tier while everyone else was doing something else. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went into a little bit of a mental slump because of that, and it took me a few events to get back out of it.
Nah, I don't hear.
You don't hear Paul? I hear Paul. This is that whole thing that's happened before. Josh, I'll keep it going with Paul. You guys log out and log back in and see what happens. You can just click out and click back in.
I can hear.
Oh, right, so Josh, you click out then.
All right, see you
later. I have one burning question for KRANS though.
Oh, now Paul just dropped out.
Oh, what? No. Yeah, wait, Paul. No, you don't drop out.
Not you. You're here.
I'm still here.
That's funny.
All right, I got one burning question, right? So we talked about you wanting to get on Jomez and DGN and everything like that. We got to see it, a lot these past few weeks. It was great. Hole 18, you waffled the disc. Is that disc still in your bag? Did it survive the waffling?
Yeah, no. MVP holds up great to the tacos. That taco or tacoing that disc, normally it's like people usually do that out of like anger. People usually do that out of anger. I would say that was more of like a passionate competitive frustration. So
that's funny.
That was legitimately the only time I got mad the entire event.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was super locked in. I was mentally strong the entire event, and then just to get kind of screwed on hole 18, kind of was like the icing on the cake. I also didn't know what scores were, on if I was going to make lead card.
Mm-hmm.
Like my immediate reaction to that was, oh, that roll away just kicked me off lead card, but I had no idea. I could have laid up the putt and still made a lead card the next day.
Yeah.
But I was like, just run the putt.
But you made the putt.
You can't play like a wimp on the Pro Tour. Like I just watched the 2021 where Macbeth won USDGC.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran a putt that on 18 he ran like a 50 or 60 foot death putt. And I was like, it was like, I don't know. I feel like you just never let off the gas no matter how you're playing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that disc survived. That I was just, that was my biggest thing.
We've seen Isaac Robinson tackle it on 18 as well before. Not this year, maybe.
Yeah.
But, Josh, you can hear Paul now?
I'm good.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there was a lot. I got sidetracked a little bit of the technical side here. We're going into USDGC. You earned your spot. There's a fair amount of now New England people playing that I think are representing at a fairly high level. Harry Chase will have in soon here, but Wyatt Mahoney, kid out of Connecticut, he earned his spot in there. You're in there. Obviously, I say obvious. Casey White's in there, I'm sure, right? Yeah. And it's hard to claim Simon, but Simon's in there, and I think it's a good showing from New England. So, have you I apologize if I missed this. Have you played USDGC? I think you did, right?
Yeah, I played it last year and in 2022 when I qualified through Worlds.
Right. And so what's your best finish at USDGC?
56.
Okay.
I missed cash.
Okay. You've come a long way since then. You even just talked about this season alone, having a different mindset, if you will. That's going to obviously benefit you. I think you told me recently you don't have like goals of like how to finish at an event, but that being said, you feel like you should be able to play that course better than you ever have, right?
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm gonna step up to a lot of the holes. Like I said, my distance driver lineup is a lot better, and just my shot shapes in general are better. So I feel like there will be holes that I step up to, and I'm not gonna really stress about it. Obviously, it still comes down to execution on how the body's feeling. I've been dealing with a split index finger. That's actually, it split open the final round of MVP Open. So I was dealing with that pain the entire final round. Not blaming that for my bad play, but it was definitely a factor. And that day, my body just didn't want to show up and perform well. So mainly it just comes down to how you feel day of.
Wow.
Like, I'm probably only going to practice one round this week at USDGC and just really focus on the tournament days instead.
Gannon has talked about this before, and I'm interested just a little bit more enhancement from your perspective. He's mentioned sometimes you'll wake up and you try to get ready and you're like, he said something along the lines of like, uh-oh, like I already know today's not going to be good. Like almost like your body or whatever, you can just tell it's not going to be at its peak. Is that kind of what you're talking about? You're just like, I just know it's not going to be at peak.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a factor. Those days where you wake up and you feel like it's not going to be a great day, it kind of adds a lot of stress throughout the morning until you're round because you don't know how you're going to perform in a competitive atmosphere until you tee off of hole one. And my tee shot on hole one, the final round, was like, I felt like I threw it pretty hard and it didn't really go that far. So I was like, oh boy, I'm going to have to grind away the day to make it through the whole round. But yeah, he is right. There are days where you just wake up and you just know it's going to be kind of a struggle to get ready. That's mainly for me factor of forearm strength and grip strength, and then also my lower back.
Is the split finger because of like not you being dehydrated, but like air, or is it more of you did a lot of throwing that week? Because I know you're on MVP stuff, you're doing lots of stuff, and coming out of GMC, I mean, so like, was it just repetitive?
My fingers usually split open during A tiers because we play easier courses, so it's also easier to just play without being tired. So then I throw a lot of shots. So my fingers split open at main states. It healed for GMC, and then yes, I did throw quite a few. I played a lot the first 2 days, Monday, Tuesday of MVP week, and then it got kind of worse. But then Sunday I started warming up and threw a shot, and it just split open.
No excuses, as you said. You didn't use it as an excuse, although I think people could. I was talking about that to some players too. Joey Buckets. He didn't have a great showing at MVP, so we were able to talk during other rounds. We were hanging out, and I don't think enough goes into, and I get both sides of this, players being injured. So we talked about Paul Macbeth last season. There wasn't a lot of talk about, like, Paul's not winning because he's been injured and he's in recovery. Like, that's a big part of it. But Paul doesn't come out and say that as an excuse. Joey Buckets, back issue. He comes out of an event, doesn't play well. He doesn't want to come out and be like, hey guys, like, my back hurts. It sounds like an excuse, or my fingers split, or whatever it is. But I think there's some level where if there was a way where we as talk show hosts could, like, talk about people's injuries or split fingers for the player, like, I think there would be some cool benefit there for both the conversation side of it, but also it doesn't come off as an excuse. So
yeah. I mean, any hand problem
yeah.
on your dominant throwing hand, it's always a big factor, because, I mean, even just a millimeter off of your release angle or release line, it could be a two-stroke swing just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Cole Redolin. He was injured a lot of the year. Didn't even know if he was going to finish out the season, and then something started clicking. We talked to him about it, and it started clicking, and then he comes out and he wins the final playoff event of the year. So when it comes to injuries, and we've talked to Ulibarri about this, we've talked to so many Coling, I'm pretty sure, about this, and in a way, almost probably 90% of the Pro Tour is injured in some sort of degree. Someone's got hurt ankles, someone's got hurt hands, someone's got bad hips, bad back, whatever. Like,
somebody's got hurt feelings. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Someone's got hurt feelings. That was usually me. I was the hurt feeling guy on tour. But yeah, for the most part, someone's feeling it somewhere, right? You can jack up on some ibuprofen, Tylenol, and get through, the weekend. But there's no off chance unless you take off the event specifically, and actually rest and recuperate until the off season.
Yeah.
You guys are go, 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 go. You drive X amount of hours after every single tournament. So then your back and your butt are getting stiff just from sitting in a car all day.
Yeah.
And then you got to go out and you got to play. You got to play your practice rounds. You got to play your tournament. And now there's so much pressure on the Pro Tour now that it's really hard to miss any events. Like, how many events could you afford to miss? And then how many events would it have taken for you not to make the Pro Tour championships? You know what I mean? So that's where it's like, for someone in 26th, 27th, 28th place, you have to be at all the events because you want that solidified spot in the Pro Tour championships. And so, yeah, it literally comes down to there are no off weeks. And but
I don't want to call out the Pro Tour in any way.
But here we go.
To the people who don't work out, but we as players do not take this golf seriously enough in the physical side of it. I feel like there's a very select few people who focus heavily on working out, and there's like a very select few people that focus on working out and really strengthen themselves, because the stronger you are, the less limits you'll have. I think the obvious ones are Ezra Aderhold, AB, Adam Hammis, Austin Turner. Those guys really focus on the gym as part of their practice. I kind of have fallen off of the working out the last few, probably last month or two, just super hectic. And I understand that our schedule prevents us from like actually working out, but I feel like injuries would be less noticed, or they wouldn't be as much of an excuse if people actually spent their practice time also working out and focusing on that part. Like, I don't work out super heavily throughout the year, but I do very light training on my muscles and lots of stretching, lots of foam rolling, and just really muscle activation before pretty much at the start of every single day. And that's also one thing that's kept my arm healthy this year compared to last year. And then when I get to the off season, I'm not even gonna touch a disc until our team challenge days. Like, I'm simply my entire off season is gonna be in the gym, not even for disc golf.
Fantastic.
I know we mentioned earlier. It struck me. You've played USDGC twice. I think maybe you kind of mentioned this, but do you know that both times you finished in the exact same finishing place?
Well, we didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, 64.
64th.
Yeah,
Did I
both
say
times.
54th?
I don't remember what you
You
said.
said
That's why I
57.
wasn't sure.
Or 6.
Oh,
Wow. Anyway,
Yeah,
not trying to call
Really?
you out on it, but I was more intrigued with the fact that like
Wow,
it's
back to
exact
back.
finishing place. So all you got to do is beat. I mean,
wow.
obviously go for the win, but all you got to do is beat 64th, and you're doing better.
I'll do better.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that it was the same.
Pressure off
Wow.
now. I mean, look at you.
If we're trusting Statmando, yeah, then you've only got room to go up.
Yeah, that's
Which is
awesome.
awesome.
I
That's
feel
fun.
like it should be easy, but you never know.
Hey, well, the
But
event.
you never know.
Yeah,
Should I
yeah,
pick
that's
you
true.
as a
You never
drop
know.
pick? Should I pick you as a drop pick this week?
No, don't do
Is there
that.
anything I should know? No. That's funny.
Those ratings were 1,003 and
Wait,
1,004.
Josh, you picked KRANS for Pop at MVP, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I yeah. Paul, you gave me lots of points in our game. It was great.
Nice. I don't know what the statistics or like what the qualifications are for comeback player of the year for the Pro Tour. Do you guys know anything about that?
They may change
sorry.
it.
Not comeback player. Most improved player.
That's I don't know how they're gonna qualify who's up for that, but I think they may open it up to anybody on the tour. I think. When I voted in the
we'll
past,
vote for you, Paul.
Yeah,
Look,
when I
it's
voted in the
media,
past.
It's
all
media
I'm
vote.
gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is I went from 89th on the tour to 24th.
Yes.
And like Josh
I'd say that's
said,
a pretty good improvement.
Yes. I mean, last year I think Buckets won it, and he went from like 46th or like 40, somewhere in the 40th to I think it was 17th, top 20.
Okay.
So I mean, I've got that beat by another 20 or 30 spots almost. So I feel like I don't really know how they're doing it. I know it's by voting.
I can tell you how they did it last year, which is presumed to be the same because I haven't seen anything different. Yeah, and first of all, you're right. Most improved player is definitely all about like how you're improving on the tour. It literally talks about notable advancements from year to year. So it's exactly what you're talking about. And at that point, it was three parts: media vote, tour card player vote, and fan vote. So they should be looking at something like you said, moving up that leaderboard should be probably one of the main factors.
Sullivan Tipton may be in the conversation. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He's had a great year.
But Paul's like, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
but
we don't need to go there, man. We don't need to go
maybe,
there.
but like maybe not.
He can't say
Remember,
great
this
pick.
is kind
He
of a
can't do
political
that.
thing, right? If it's all about voting, then Paul's got to make a case.
Yeah, he's got to make it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me how it's only by voting.
Maybe they're changing it. The Pro Tour has a way of adjusting some things late notice on us.
You would hope, though, Paul.
That's what's on their website.
You would hope that most votes aren't just like, oh, it feels like Paul should get this for no reason. Like, people are going to look at the stats. That's why they divide it up by like groups
Paul
of people.
Macbeth gets like most improved player because he didn't win the year before.
Cool. I think, dude, we're excited to see you continue to play out there at the high level. That was really fun. I'm sure you've got it all week when you were there, but like this is a different level that other people can understand local hometown and like someone coming and playing at their hometown. But then you brought like in clutch fashion, Tom Cole on the bag, and like people who don't know Tom Cole, like, I don't know. It's hard to, I'll explain him. The most chill, cool dude. Like, I feel like that's pretty accurate. Those two words, chill and cool. Level.
Yeah, me and Tom never really hang out.
Yeah.
But he knows my personality so well.
Yeah.
And he was only supposed to caddy for me on Friday.
Okay.
And after my round on Friday, I looked at him and said, "Can you make it back here tomorrow?" And he said, "Absolutely." And then I asked him the next day as well. I was like, "Can you make it back here on Sunday?" And he said, "Absolutely." He said he wouldn't miss it for the world. So
Sick.
it was having him on the bag was, I mean, I called us a team. It wasn't just me that week. He helped me in so many different ways.
Yeah, and so shout out to him. Like I said, he's a really, really cool dude, and he's on. You mentioned Team Challenge just a minute ago in the off season. Like, he's on our team, and so like, and then we're seeing Harry out there. Harry's on our same team. It's like you, Harry, Tom Cole, and then me, and now my oldest son's joining the team, and I'm just like, we're out there having a blast.
Nice.
And like, there's local fun, there's pro tour fun, and it was mixed like at this awesome like organic level. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I want to tell 2 stories about Tom that week. When I have a caddy, I never, ever, ever want them to tell me what shot to throw because it makes me overthink it. So I just like having caddy for like vibes.
Yeah.
But on hole 12, I think the 3rd round. Hole 12, the 3rd round, I had a bad tee shot, and I asked him what shot I should throw, and then I decided to throw a certain shot, and then I looked back at him and was like, what do you think of this one? And he's like, do it. So then I threw the shot, big fireball flex forehand down the gap to about, I think it was a 35 footer, and then I made the 35 footer. And then hole 18, Gavin Babcock and I were battling for lead card, and I threw my tee shot, luckily rolled back in bounds. Gavin threw his tee shot early right, and then I told Tom, I was like, if Gavin goes out of bounds, I'm laying up to get lead card. Gavin ended up throwing out of bounds. I grabbed my mayhem, and I look at Tom. I said, tell me yes or no, go for it. And he looked at me, and he was like, do it. So then I went for it, made it on the island, made lead card, and that was just, it was pretty epic.
I think he mentioned that moment to me as well, and I was like, dude, wild.
Yeah,
that had, and people cheered. I think Cole told me the next day or that night when he was at my house, we were talking, and he's like, dude, when I heard cheers, I could not imagine what was happening. This was round 3. I couldn't imagine what was happening in front of me. He's like, I had to look at my phone. He's like, oh, Paul KRANS made the lead card. Like everyone cheered so loud, like the tournament's over, you know, like it was awesome.
Right, it sounded like somebody
it felt like I was winning it.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
what it sounded like on the course.
Cole's like, what could be happening? I have to look at my
How did
phone.
somebody already win? I haven't even finished.
Oh, Paul made the lead card. Yeah, so very cool, dude. Are you? I'm trying to think. You just played Nantucket. Today's Monday. Are you halfway? Are you on your way? Where are you going?
I'm in Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah.
I played Mayflower.
That course sucks.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Oh my god, dude! I
shot 11 under. It was
sick.
fun.
What layout you play?
White to blue.
White to blue. White to blue is fun. I played when I was living in Virginia. I played a stupid amount of tournaments there. I lost twice in playoffs, and then I missed cash like 8 times because I hate that place. And I could never get over the mental fact that I hated it, but I kept going because all my friends would sign up for the tournament. So I'm like, it's an hour away from where I was living. Yeah, might as well. And then I get to hole 3, and it's a straight downhill forehand shot, and the basket's on the side of a hill like this.
Yeah.
And anytime that you get near the basket, your disc just hits the hill, and then it rolls all the way down.
Gone. Yeah.
And then, so it's like, okay, great. I remember the first time I was there, I hit next to the basket, rolled all the way down the hill. And I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just lay up my putt. So I literally laid it up, and it hit something, and it rolled back down. And I was like, nope. Never want to play this place again. And then I played it like another 10 times. And
nice. You know, hole 13, I think it is. It's straight downhill, or
the
15?
super long one.
Yeah, it's like super straight downhill.
Yeah.
Tight gap.
Oh yeah.
I had dead center spit out for ace on that hole.
Dang, that's sick. Oh yeah, because you can see it from the white tee pad. If you walk forward, you can see a shot. Wow, that's sick. Yeah, because the next one goes uphill. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, it's a fun course actually. There are some really cool holes there. I just never had good luck there. Like I could be playing phenomenal, never had good luck, and it was just one of those places that I was like, I'm never going to win a tournament here. But
yeah.
There are a lot of good courses out that way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got your local rival in the green room. He's waiting his turn, but we've asked you a lot.
I wouldn't say rival.
I'm messing around when I say that. Tour bros. I can see him in the chat now giving me angry faces like he's pumped up. I don't know where he's at, but we're going to let him in. Paul, congrats on all the finishes you've had. One day we'll be congratsing you on like the big win. It'll come. We appreciate your time and safe travels, man.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Peace out.
Drive safe.
All right. Hit a few buttons here. Oh, I introduced Harry Chase without knowing it. Harry, can you hear us? All right. He can. Well, all right. So you've got a rough signal. So let's see what we can figure out there. All right. Hold on. I'm hitting like 6 buttons. We'll get it going. Harry dropped out, or he turned off his camera. I'm going to adjust a few things for Harry, guys. So, okay, there, we're going to do this. I'm going to ask for way less from him.
You're going to adjust a few things for Harry guys. I guess that's us.
Harry guys?
Yeah.
Hey, Harry, if you can hear us, it looks like you turned your camera off. So I might be able to ask for that back or turn it on, but there. Oh, maybe. There you go. Okay, you're you're back. Let's see if we get a quality conversation out of this. I'm gonna try one more thing. To our no, we should be good on this side. So we're doing the best we can here. You can hear us fine? Okay, it seems like we've got a rough connection, but I can hear you, so we'll give it a try here. Dude, you've been playing pretty hot lately. Is it where you're at in the season? Is it the local vibes? Like, what is it, man, that's carrying you on at this late in the season? Okay. You're coming through very robotic. Does anybody else feel that way? We need to figure this out.
It's tough.
Okay.
It's one of those where I could try to interpret, but
Harry,
the chat is also saying they can't hear him at all, but I don't know if it's related.
Okay. Harry, is there a chance of like moving to another location like 15, 20, 30 minutes we have you back on, or is this the best we're going to get?
No, I can try that. I don't know if I call in mobile would be better, but I can do that too.
Yeah, it's coming through pretty rough. So hit me up in the text or whatever if you find a spot. We'd like to do this. I think we'll get a better situation if you either find somewhere with Wi-Fi or you just find a stronger signal. Yeah,
all right,
let me know.
Good. I'll text you.
Yeah, let me know. All right. Bye.
Thank you, Harry. Where is he right now? Did he say?
No.
You might have said, but it sounded like
he looks like he's at like a mall or something in the background.
Josh, I got to bring you back in.
Free Wi-Fi.
You think he was on Wi-Fi?
Oh yes, because then he said I could try to call you back on mobile. Like it sounded like he's kind of like I could turn Wi-Fi off and try to just come straight in. But I have no idea. That's what I interpreted.
Okay.
Anyway, that was a great interview. Nice to
Josh
see you, Harry.
and Nick, we used to have to navigate that. We didn't know what to do back in the day, and we just kind of like roll with it, and it would be so painful. Like, you want to be polite.
You text me and be like, "This is like the worst thing in the world."
Well, like I said, like
right
I could probably like if you had to communicate something, you could get through that with Harry. But like, we're a show trying to produce like an interview, and it's like I kind of know what you're saying, but I also kind of don't. Yeah, anyway, hopefully we get him back. Obviously, I'm not going to I'm going to assume we're going to get him back and not jump to the end about his recent performance and trying to play off to make it into the championship.
You want to go to Pop Drop Lock?
Chat about. Yeah, we can. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do Pop Drop Lock. It's been a little bit since the music. Pop Drop. This is the last
slides. Yeah.
Last picks of the season.
Yeah, last picks.
I killed it last week, Matt, and you weren't on the show to celebrate with me, but I actually had a great week.
Yeah, and I had a bad one, but you did a good one. Yeah, you picked, like I said, Paul to pop. You picked
it also,
Missy to win
and AB to drop. It also felt good because remember Paul Macbeth critiqued our picks, and he wasn't thrilled about mine, but I crushed it.
Right, and he wasn't thrilled about some of mine, but he was right. No, I'm kidding. So
Yeah.
we were all over the board. That being said, update a little bit on the points here is that the winner is getting a round with Simon Lizotte, assuming we can coordinate it. I mean, it's going to be on the table. Courageous Hair. We've been in contact. It looks like Courageous Hair is far enough along that we're not calling it yet, but we've started conversations about how we can facilitate, what dates might work, all of that, because it's going to take a fair amount. He would have to have an horribly opposite week than he's ever had.
Points down the line,
Yeah, and the next people would have to have the absolute best, including me. But if somehow I pulled it off, he's still getting the win. So meaning like he'll still get the round. So no matter we slice it, it's looking like Courageous Hair. And Josh, you're frozen on my screen, but we do. I know.
Hear you. Can you hear me though?
Yeah.
It's
just this smug smile.
I know. I can see it myself.
And it's not even like it's not even a bad.
I'm gonna shut
freeze
it off.
Too. Normally freezes are like really
like I'm
bad.
half thinking with a little smile. I can see it frozen and I can hear you all. You're all moving. Maybe I'm going to trigger my camera.
No, I just did it. I think maybe I fixed it.
Boom.
There we go.
I also turned mine off and on. Anyway.
So
pop drop block.
Fixed it.
Let's not forget to thank Hooligan. If we didn't, Matt, you're representing the apparel.
Absolutely.
Hooligan discs. Really, obviously, this game's a lot of fun. It's fun for us to play. It's free for you to play. It's free for you to play and win prizes thanks to Hooligan Discs, thanks to Shrek for developing the app with kind of Matt's guidance. Really been a lot of fun. And again, Hooligan makes it possible for us to actually do some cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like somebody could actually play this last week and win the week, right?
Yeah, every week. You might not be in the no because
That's
I do it every week, but every week we're contacting the winners and shipping them or Hooligan shipping them prizes. Yeah. So very cool. So yeah, thanks to Hooligan Discs. I'll be interested to see what we decide to do for next year. If Hooligan wants in, I know that they've been happy with that in the past, but we'll stay in touch and see how that looks going into next season. We will review the points at the end of USDGC and Throw Pink, which by the way, that's what we're making picks for tonight. Throw Pink Women's Championship as well as USDGC. Meaning you have to go find both of those events in the app because Josh, you're frozen again?
I know, but it's a pretty good picture, so I'm leaving it.
I just like seeing him just sitting there. I'm going to try on my side something.
I think it has to be you, actually, because I just tried it and it's nothing.
That's weird.
Because actually, even when I shut my camera off, my face stayed on the screen, so it seems like it's the production side.
Wow. That's a new production issue.
That's not like bad though, right? Like I'm keeping pretty good even face. So
I was going to say the faces you're making while it's freezing are
it's
pretty
like
spot on because knowing mine, it would be like something
like
completely bad.
Well, yeah, don't do it now.
I'm going to try one more thing here. It's probably going to throw it off.
Matter to you at all. So thanks for bearing with us. Just know we're having fun with everything. Actually looks normal except that I'm straight up.
If you freeze again, we're gonna leave it. I'll fix it later. We won't.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just keep talking.
Unless it's like horrible.
Or better yet, I'll just literally won't say a word for the rest of the show. So my face will be frozen and I'll just be sitting there.
You'll be with us here in spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
Josh is gonna sit really still.
Yeah.
I know this is totally sidebar, but hey, everybody, roll with it. It's a really funny like prank. You may have seen it before. I have done it at work, where you hop on like a Zoom call, and like then I just freeze.
That's what I'm saying. See, like he's frozen.
That's good.
They're like, it's not working. Wait,
I would believe it.
Yeah. No, he's actually frozen.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like it's. Oh wait, I actually am frozen. Did you do that on purpose?
Well,
no.
For the 5 seconds, I was like, man, that's actually really good.
I thought I was holding so perfectly.
Josh, I'm letting you come out of character. He was confused. He's like, wait, am I holding that still?
No, because you have to know I held still so long until I said a word, and then I was freaked out.
Oh my goodness.
Audio listeners,
I don't know what's up with that.
It's not really that.
Oh, it came back that last second though.
Maybe. Anyway, it's not really that funny. There's no crazy faces, but audio. If you want to go check it out, jump 1 hour into the show and just see the silly frozen.
Oh, that one was funny though. I was like, Josh is gonna just keep doing it, and I'm gonna believe it. And then I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
I was like, really long.
I did it again.
Bizarre. Yeah. All right. Well, I can't do anything about it.
I don't know what is happening.
You want me to totally leave and rejoin?
Try that if you have.
I mean, obviously that's just
try that. We're gonna do our picks. Nick is up first.
Right back. I'll be right.
All right, here we go. Nick's picks.
My picks for the USDGC and the Throw Pink. So Chandler Kramer just coming off a third place finish over at the Carolina Clash on a very wooded course. And now going into the Open, we are hoping to see some success. He's averaging like 56th, I think, right now. So hoping for some points out of Chandler Kramer. Joel Freeman, who we haven't really talked about much. He's also coming off a decent finish over at Carolina Clash, but just kind of hoping for some points with the drop. And then locking in to tie Kenny with the majors, Paul Macbeth. And it's also saved that last pick for last tournament of the season. Going off in the FPO side, Taylor Chosek for popping off, Jessica Weiss to drop, and Silva Saarinen to win it. I think her Instagram post is just going to say two-time. Oh, no, theirs isn't a major. Dang it. It's just going to say Throw Pink champion.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be it. That's the post, and I love it. So I asked her when she was actually staying at my house, I was like, I think it was Monday morning after everything. And I was like, so is your Instagram post just literally going to say tied for second at MVP Open? And then what do you know? Her Instagram post was tied 2 at MVP Open. And that was it. And I was like, think of beauty. Nice, quick, simple, to the point.
Sounds like you inspired her.
Exactly. I have, inspiring person. So those are my picks. And I feel pretty confident. I think I'm going to get the win this week. Not the overall win, but I'm definitely going to get the win this week.
All right. I don't know if no, see, he's frozen again. I don't know what's happening, but I'm figuring out things on the fly. We'll get it fixed in a second here, Josh. But
well, we have a lot of audio listeners and they can hear me, so
Nico,
you tell us what we want to do.
Actually, I should make sure people can hear. Talk again.
Hey everybody, can you hear me?
Like maybe, but it's not showing up on my side now. It's like showing up that you're not there.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, now we all went away.
We all went away?
Well, now I see like the OBS image, yeah.
I was saying I had the ninja star on my screen.
Oh my.
Hey, he's back.
Josh is back?
Yeah.
So there's really weird things happening. And Josh, I don't know if the audio listeners can hear you. I need to know if they can hear you because I see it, but I don't hear it. He's fine audio-wise. So there's some issue where I'd have to drop out and close down and restart, and I don't want to do that. So if they can hear you, then they can hear you.
Yeah, and I'll just hopefully it freezes on a good face and then just leave me up.
Well, yeah, we'll see. This is a crazy segment here, guys. You guys know the fun of the show every now and then. And it's been a while since we had this. So, okay. My picks, but now I'm not going to be able to read them because I have to have the screen in a different setting.
I can read them.
You want me to read them for you?
All right. I have Anakin Sten as popping. I think she's plays above her average, it seems like, most often. She's 21st, but she usually finishes better than that. Cat Merch dropping. So I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to play for the bigger pop and drops this per usual, but I'm being a little bit more aggressive this one in hopes that I might be able to catch the leader. So Cat's going to have to drop pretty far. Holland Hanley to lock. This one, I could not, let me see. I had 3 options, Missy Gannon, Owen, or Holland. They all had 1 pick left. This is the last pick I get to do of the year. I'm rolling the dice on Holland. And for MPO, or not MPO, USDGC, I have Nico as popping. So he's won this. Wait, he's won this event,
past
right?
winner. Yes.
And he's averaging 47th, and he didn't play good at MVP Open at all. So you could say trend-wise it's bad, but I feel like he's setting the stage for possibly a great pop. So that's why. Drop Sullivan Tipton. As much as I said he's performing really well, there's statistics that show that he hasn't played well here, but there's probably some reason why. Maybe I won't get it, but I'm still just playing that in hopes that maybe it happens. And then MPO lock. Guys, I couldn't pick Calvin. I couldn't pick Gannon. I'm all out. So Isaac Robinson, and I don't think it's a bad pick. I'll go on record and say I don't think he's going to win. I feel like the odds are more towards Calvin, Gannon. I'm not picking Ricky, so I can't say that. I was going to say I might say Ricky. Paul's a wild card there. I'm going with Isaac. Those are my picks. So pull Josh's up.
All right.
I did points. I got to pull up Josh's picks.
Okay, here's my pop, Nate Sexton. What do you think? Also past winner, but averaging 53rd, I think. Hasn't really played all that many events, so I'd have to check that out, but we'll see. To drop Lori Lettinen into lock Ricky Wysocki. Last chance to really get a win, right, this year, at least. I mean, the championship's always kind of that weird event, but and Ricky played pretty well at MVP Open, so we'll see.
Nate Sexton pop.
Yeah. What do you think?
What's his average?
Well, 50. I don't have it in front of me. 53rd, I think.
Let's see here. 53. I think that's a good pick. I put him as a solid like 25 or 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And you never know, he could show up, like 20th, and then I get 33 points.
Yeah, good. So we don't have confirmation.
And honestly, well, here, let me go through my FPO quick. Anakin, which is the same thing as you, Matt. Evelina to drop. She could also play great, but if you talk about somebody that's wide variation and could fall off, it's a gamble. And then Holland Hanley to lock. So there you go.
Yeah, so we got 2 FPO picks the same there. I don't think these are Ben's picks. We have no confirmation he's on a flight. He gets the award of the year for needing to be reminded the most about this and getting them in time. He gets that award. Although, look, does that feel right? Is Drew Gibson playing? Because he wouldn't have picked that for MVP Open.
No, Drew is not playing, though.
But that wouldn't have been. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Let me check.
I think Drew's out there.
He confirmed he's not playing, I thought.
Well, that doesn't mean he's not.
He is in our pop drop lock list, though, and he is 55th, so there's a good chance that.
So Ben got him in, maybe. Okay. We're going to call these as good, and I think that's probably. Yeah,
Drew Gibson had a post that talked about his health after the accident, and he still had some problems, and he's just trying to choose to get fully healthy. And I don't know if it explicitly said he's not playing USDGC, but I felt like that was literally like what it was suggesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Harry, can you hear us?
You're right. He is out there, so who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's playing.
Harry, can you hear us? Now I can't hear Harry.
Log out and log back in, Mr. Harry.
If Harry can hear us, do a quick close out, like actually close it out, quit it or whatever, and then open the link again. Try it one more time. Because I saw him in there now. Now I've got all these different things going on technically wise. Hopefully it's not going to be us as the issue. We'll see if he pops back in. It looked like maybe a little smoother.
Oh, yeah, and also Haley King is probably also in the list, but I'm pretty sure she confirmed she's out too. So Ben's just picking players who are not. Yeah. Yeah, Haley said she hurt her ankle at MVP.
Okay, Open. Can you hear us, Harry? All right. We're going to try this.
Hear him.
We're going to try this. Unfortunately, my button system isn't working well to keep Josh unfrozen. And now, before Harry says anything, it's not. Everything's got screwed up on my side. But go ahead and talk. I'm going to see if the YouTube can hear it, because now things are like frozen on my side. Say what's up, Harry.
What's up, y'all? I'm trying my best, but I'm in the darkness over here. So
the darkness isn't a real problem for us. I mean, you can be witness protection for all we care. We're gonna see if we can hear him. I don't have any option of adjusting slides here. For some reason, things glitch out on my side. But here you are, Harry. You went through hell and high water. Were you in like a mall?
I was at the Delaware Welcome Center. So
nice.
Something like that. There was a lot of shops. It was well lit, at least.
Was that Wi-Fi?
Funny.
I was trying Wi-Fi. I was trying data. I don't know. I'm just on data now, so I'm not really sure the problem.
Okay, I'm going to even make your phone a little happier. I'm going to reduce the frame rate that for some reason we always demand over here. I'm going to have to figure that out going forward. We'll make it even better, hopefully. All right. Dude, so we're trying to give you like the, hey, dude, you've been showing up at the end of the season. I think you kind of answered, and that's when we're like, dude, this isn't going to work. So congrats on that, dude. Strong performances, even a second place at Nantucket. For those who don't know, it's an island off Massachusetts that's been run for quite a while with pros after MVP Open. Where is this late season push coming from, Harry? Is it the Northeast, or have your skills really risen?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a combination of both. I think any golfer, disc golfer, not disc golfer, can agree that, their game goes through ebbs and flows, and especially being on the road with, the inconsistency of tour life and, trying to make it as simple and easy as possible. It doesn't always go as planned. And yeah, when you're riding the highs, you're riding the highs. And when you're on the flows, it really can suck. So just trying to play the best golf I can, one hole at a time. And the last 2 tournaments have gone all right.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just thinking out loud here. I've played with you a fair amount. Your game is really strong. This is your first full season on tour. How often are you seeing, and this isn't to try to stack you up against anybody else, people starting to be familiar with who you are? Mainly, maybe because of your vlogs, your a little bit of work with sometimes on Simon's channel, as well as your performances. Do you see your fan base growing? I haven't ever talked about that with you.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have noticed that this year. First couple events, I was definitely the new kid on the block. Kind of felt that way too. Not that it really hindered anything or, affected any of my energy, but, you could definitely feel when I did play well. I can remember Kansas City was kind of that first time I really played well. And I was on the 3rd card with some, you could say, notable names. And I almost like myself felt out of place a little bit. The crowd is kind of scrolling, looking who I am. Who's this kid from Rhode Island? I got definitely those vibes a lot of kind of just being, not necessarily someone that didn't belong, but someone that just wasn't quite at that level yet. And yeah, throughout the year, with each event comes more experience, new opportunity to meet fans in whatever area I'm in, and seeing the whole country has been great. And yeah, definitely the media side is key in today's age. So I definitely noticed my first couple fans definitely came over from Simon's vlog. Been lucky to be featured on that a handful of times at different stops this year. And then, honestly, I've been surprised at the amount of people that have just seen me from my own YouTube channel or my own social media. And, certainly an effect from, Simon or other notable pros out there that people have known for years and connecting with them and, trying to just, some of it is kind of planned. Some of it is just a side effect of, who you hang out with and, who you just happen to be connected with at the time. So, yeah, it's been a great ride. I certainly wouldn't say it's gone perfect, but I can feel the fan base growing for sure. So shout out to all you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, I'd imagine. I was just talking about how it's fun for me if I show up somewhere, like I went to a local league, and I'm not a pro disc golfer. I've talked a lot of disc golf. But for people to just recognize me on the course and say, hey, we love what you're doing, or that kind of a thing, like you get to experience that at some level, again, growing your fan base, and that's got to be a pretty cool feeling. So aside from the fan base, which does help drive your career, how would you rate this season for yourself? Inspired for next season, or man, I got a lot to work on, or like just, and I'm not saying that should be how you look at it. I'm just saying, what is your perspective at this point in the season? Are you even looking ahead to next year with different plans?
Yeah, I definitely got to wait for the year to finish out to give it a final grade, but at this point, I would say probably around C-, if I'm being pretty blunt. Yeah, I had one goal this year, quite frankly, which was to make the tour championship. I felt like I had the game to do it. And even with Maple Hill being kind of that bonus entry of my local tournament, I definitely felt pretty confident in achieving that goal. And yeah, I came up short. So can't be anything above average. And yeah, didn't have quite the top finishes. I think I hit a pretty consistent stride of cashing in the middle of the season, which was really nice to see. But yeah, really struggled to like shoot hot rounds and be really in the mix at a lot of events, which I think going into next year, it will certainly help being my second year on tour, hopefully making that jump from year 1 to year 2. But yeah, it's not going to come for free. So a lot of work to be had. And yeah, really looking forward to the off season.
So it might feel like, sometimes these interviews with my friends, as in Paul KRANS and Harry CHACE and sometimes Casey White and others, like come off as being a little bit more less polished and professional, because I have conversation with Harry off the air, if you will, all the time. But I'm going to ask this, and I apologize if it puts you on the spot, but man, I was so intrigued and interested because I was watching from an airplane as your round was coming to conclusion. And you know this now, and maybe they were incorrect, but the reality was it seemed like you might have been able to lay up on 18. I'm just curious, what was the whole scenario from your perspective? Because when I watched it, I'm like, no way. Like, it's not, he doesn't know it and he's just doing it. Like Cole Redolin to finish out, like didn't have to do it either. Like, or Paul KRANS just told us, like, to make the lead card, like to stick it on the green, but he didn't have to because Gavin Babcock went out of bounds, but Paul went for 18. And so, like, were you in the dark as far as like knowing the final details and how that'd play out, or did you know?
Yeah, so I've told the story a few times, obviously, but I'm happy to share it with you. I'll just set the scene with, first things first, that approach into 18 has never been like my strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
I typically play the hole for par. And even in the practice days, both days where I practiced, it was raining. And I never really got a good feel for the forehand. And even a few times, like after Thursday's round, after Friday's round, I would try to go and practice the upshot just so I could get a feel for it, just in case it came into play. And, Steve Dodge has always got something going on the green, whether it be the pool ball race or something like that. So it was pretty much closed up after that. So I just, told myself, hopefully it doesn't really matter. But going into Sunday, I of course was aware of what was on the line. Like I said, my main goal was to make the Tour Championship. And I didn't check any of those scores that final round until hole 17, I believe. No, I kind of knew what I would need to shoot. I thought around maybe a 4 under for sure would get me in. Maybe a 2 or a 1 under would sneak me in. And I think at 1 or 2 under through 16 holes. I want to say I was 2 under. So coming down the stretch, I knew it would be close. So I checked the scores, and I was actually in it at the time. But of course, a few things needed to shake out. The other thing I should mention too is I was on third card, and everybody on my card was already in on points, and everybody on the chase and lead card was already in on points. So I was the final piece of the puzzle, so to say. And I had known, at least going, thinking I would know what to do on 18 because I have everybody in front of me. I'm the third card in, and I have the advantage of knowing the situation. So I end up parring 17, which is not a bad score. And I saw that I was tied with Chris Clemens for that last spot at the time. And I was watching him. I was watching Gavin Rathbun. And Rathbun was a few strokes ahead of us. So I kind of counted him as in, we'll call it. So I watched Clemens on the live, and he gets a birdie. So at this point, I'm out of it, and I would have needed to birdie 18 in order to force a 3-way playoff for 2 spots with Lauri Lehtinen and Chris Clemens. So I throw my tee shot aggressive, trying to get into a spot to go for it. I go for it, and then I just wanted to go double check one more time and just make sure, like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really what I have to do? And I checked the website, checked the scores, and I guess it had not updated at the time because, of course, Gavin Rathbun on the 4th card had unfortunately taken a 10, which dropped him to, I think, 4 strokes ahead of me to now 6 below me. And his name at that point, since Maple Hill, I mean, everything is, 5-way tie, 5-way tie, 5-way tie. So he dropped all the way off my screen. And I didn't even think, to look because he just, he went from above my screen to below my screen. So I saw, Chris Clemens is ahead of me, Larry Letton's ahead of me. I got to get a birdie. So I go for the green. In the moment, I remember saying to myself, like, whatever happens, happens. But I'm just proud of myself for actually attacking this on a forehand, because a year ago, I would have been so nervous to even attempt to throw a forehand. I'm, predominantly backhand, and forehand's kind of been a work in progress for the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, as soon as I let it go, I knew I did my common miss right now, which is just kind of shank it left. It never had a chance. And at that point, I thought it was completely over. Like, I needed a birdie. I'm not going to get a birdie. But, you know, at least I went for it. I tried. I was close. So I complete the hole. I take my 5, and then I just kind of slouch into the scoring tent and just be like, man, like, yeah, 1 stroke. That's all I needed. Came down to that 1 hole. And they actually have a live scoreboard up there. So I look up at the scoreboard, and it says I'm in, tied 4th. I'm like, what? Like, I literally, like, it broke my brain. I'm like, how am I tied 4th? Like, and then I'm counting the names. I'm like, where's Rathbun? And somebody told me, oh, he took a 10 on 18, and, you know, that switched everything up. And I mean, I just could not believe it. Like, the first instant was, wow, like, I semi have a chance. But then the second instant was like, oh my gosh, I only needed a par.
Yeah.
And yeah, that really stung. I mean, I had played that hole for par all week. I had gotten onto the green in 3 every day, no problem. And yeah, I mean, that was really tough to take at the time. Like, I don't know if there's anything they can do to fix that. It was just kind of just a weird situation. I also, like, just don't have the best service on hole 18. I don't think most people do.
No, I don't either.
Right. Like, it's kind of a weird thing, but, you know, I thought I would have the advantage of being on that 3rd card to know my destiny. And it kind of sucks to not actually know.
Yeah.
When I should have known, especially watching back the commentators kind of calling me a fool for not knowing, when in reality I was as tapped in as I could have been. So yeah, I was unfortunate. But then the crazy thing about that was I was told right after that so you're tied with Rasmus, and the guy told me from the Pro Tour, I've heard through the grapevine that he is going to not be available and that he's most likely going to forfeit the playoff, in which case you'd get the spot. And that was a whole different wave of emotions of me just thinking, I totally missed it, and better luck next year, to like, wow, like, I think I made it somehow. Like, it was like the craziest flip of emotion ever. So yeah, I kind of started to relax a little bit. I was like, you know, I don't know. It kind of seemed a little weird, you know, but so,
All right, you dropped out for a second here. If in a second you pop back in, it seems like maybe it was a connection issue. But yeah, I'm hearing Harry say that, and I'm feeling like super like feelings listening to him talk about this as well. I'm curious to know if and when Harry's connection is strong again. Harry, let us know if you can hear us good. Oh, there you're back, I think. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you the whole time. Yeah.
Okay. It was just
just
like
pick up where you were. You were just saying the emotions.
You had at the very end, you were saying maybe I made it in, and then you go to a playoff.
Yeah, so it turned out I think Rasmus had actually left the course, and they called him up and said, "Hey, you're now tied for it." And I think he was like, "Yeah, let's just try to get in, because, you know, it's obviously an honor to make the Tour Championship." And I think he had thought he was out of it, so he didn't really consider it when he was asked. But yeah, so he comes back to the course. I had to wait for about 25 minutes or so, and yeah, we do the playoff. I had actually played with him, I believe, round 3, and he had birdied hole 1 so easily. So I kind of knew that I needed a birdie if I wanted to push this thing to hole 2. So yeah, I was a little bit out of my birdie position, a little bit right. It's hard to swing that forehand in, and did the best I could. Went through the Mando, took what I would call a pretty unfortunate skip. I don't know if it was unlucky, but it definitely wasn't the skip I thought I was going to get. End up kind of straight skipping right over the wall, not by much. And then yeah, he pretty routinely was only 180 feet from the pin, maybe closer, for kind of a slow approach to get around the corner. And I did make my 50-footer from the ball, at least put some sort of pressure on, but he made his circle putt. So
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. You're probably going to hear us again, like you said last time. If I remember correctly, Harry hit his putt from that OB area, which was a big putt. And then, yes, the other Rasmus hit his birdie putt. So I'm curious to know, and once I see it clear up again here a little bit, it seems like the connection keeps swaying in and out. Harry, if you can hear, coming into hole 18, not to belabor that point, but let's just say you didn't have any ability to ever even see the scores. Would you have just played it for par, or would you have felt like, man, I might need the birdie? Like, just set scores aside altogether, like you didn't know. How would you have played that for a round? You're saying par?
Yeah, I mean, I'd played it for par every other day. I actually bogeyed it one of the days by missing a 20-footer on the green. But yeah, I had played it for par every day. I had thrown actually an FD off the tee to kind of, just make sure I was a little bit off the tee so I could just throw a putter to the corner and then another putter up. So yeah, I had played it for par pretty routinely. That was the game plan the whole time. I just knew in my back pocket, if I needed that forehand into the green, that I would confidently go to it and do it to the best of my ability. And it didn't work out. So
this story is like, it almost in some ways, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would have a perspective of like, maybe if I had missed it by like 20 strokes, or maybe I missed it by like 20 spots or whatever. Like, it's harder in this situation to hear you say it this way, of course. But you also want to say it could be harder or easier if it's further. But part of me goes, but you were this close. Like, that is in and of itself. If I'm here to try to encourage you at any level, like, you were that close. Like, it's like your first tour season is like, to do that would have been an honor and an amazing accomplishment. But you literally were in a playoff for that spot with one other person. I mean, if someone could have told you that going into the season, you'd say, yeah, that's a hard way to go out. But I also feel like you would have said, well, that's not a bad season if I'm that close. So.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have two things to add to that. I mean, the first is, I'm kind of with you on the first point, which is as soon as I missed that forehand, I had kind of assumed, I didn't make it because I needed to birdie. And that stung for a while, but pretty much instantly I was kind of okay with what happened. I tried my best. I needed a birdie 18, and
yeah, we lost him again. I'm not sure what's happening here.
Yeah, that part stung for a few days. It was really rough on me just because that was the one guy it's that was stolen from to be there. I was, but it's
all right. We hate to do this, obviously. Like, it's on all sides we want to hear, and we want to give him the benefit of communicating what he's saying, but we also realize people sitting and listening to that won't work as well sometimes. So, Harry, it comes in and out. Like, when we hear you, and then it goes into this where we can't. So it was tough, but again, congratulations on that success. Your next event is USDGC. You've played there one other year or 2 other years. I don't know if we're going to be able to hear you.
It's his first time.
Oh, I thought he went down there. I thought he qualified. Harry, did you ever play USDGC? We might. It's a robot. I can't hear him. I'm not sure what to say at this point, Harry. We obviously want to keep it going. This isn't your fault. If we see it clear up here in a second, we'll get in the last words. He's probably hearing us just fine, which would be unfortunate too.
We're
just going to interpret it. I think he said, yes, I can hear you.
I've been hearing you this whole time. But if he only knew, we cannot really hear him at all. It's like robot voice or broken up.
Just for the last go at it, Harry, if you can hear us, the last go at it, just close out of that again and re-click the link. We'll try one more time. Sometimes it will reconnect and have a better connection. Guys, it's been a while since this has happened to us with the audio stuff. So
yeah,
we'll give that. It's not his fault.
Obviously, yeah. I'm curious. Is there anything like, does he feel weird about the fact that Rasmus had apparently left the event, figured he wasn't in the playoff, and had to be called back? Like that's kind of weird.
Sounds like it. Sounds like he felt a little weird.
Right. Well, it's like, so did Rasmus not, he didn't like forfeit, right? Like you leave, like what's going on? Anyway, that's weird. And then also I hope Rasmus really is playing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, is Harry going to get like some call later, again, talk about the emotional roller coaster? I have no idea.
He's listening to that right now. Harry.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys can hear me. I apologize.
It's clean right now. So
for a minute at least.
Yeah, for a minute at least. Two things. One, did you feel weird that Rasmus was gone from the course and came back? Did it feel like maybe it was a forfeit? And did you have weird feelings there? And then two, we'll move into the USDGC talk.
I don't know about weird feelings. I mean, at the point during the competition, I knew what it was. I knew he was coming back. I knew we were going to play off on hole one. So I just tried to stay as locked in as possible. I was it was out of my control.
So it turns to robot. It's interesting. I think we're going to have to wrap this up. He says he can hear us, but unfortunately it comes through robotic on our side every now and then.
My camera off. Is that
auto-tune?
It's unfortunate, Harry. It comes through robotically to where we can't really hear you. Yeah. I'd say we bring Harry back in another time so we don't have to talk about hole 18. We don't have to talk about, meaning like that whole thing. I want to talk about his play and his performances, and maybe he can give us a better feeling after USDGC too. So we'll reach out to Harry. Harry, you hear us? This was a fine interview. I think we'll make a better go of it maybe next week or the following. We'll reach out. And
maybe
we don't me and
we know he's saying something, people. We know he's saying something.
Really
I'm gonna drop it.
Surprised AI. Like if you had the new, I think if you get the new AirPod Pro 3s and you wear them, it'll tell you what Harry's saying in like real time.
It'll tell you what he's saying. I feel bad when we do that. I honestly do, because it makes the guest feel bad for the way it's coming through, and it's not.
Especially when he can hear us and he just doesn't know, and we can't hear Nick. So anyway,
we can't hear Nick now. What a
that's my fault. Yeah, that was my fault. I muted myself. Yeah, I mean, it's not 100% his fault. Like, he's driving, he's a pro disc golfer, and they don't always have good Wi-Fi.
Sounded like he had the right perspective on the Rasmus.
Yes.
For what I could interpret, he's like, hey, he knew by the time he was able to play. So I'm more commentating on like having a player leave and then you have to call them back. I don't know, it's a little weird. At the same time, I'm not even sure that the Pro Tour was super upfront about how they were going to handle ties. I think they were figuring that out like
as they went
at the event. I mean, I think they probably told them before the fight, but So anyway, frustrating, but that's part of sports. And honestly, of course, knowing Harry, like you literally want the best. You want his performance. We wanted him to qualify. At the same time, from a story standpoint, this is part of the emotion of sports. This is what makes it so valuable to make it, right? Because there were a bunch of players who did earn a spot and a bunch more who didn't. And that's part of the grind. Harry's obviously got the talent to be there, so we'll root for him.
Speaking of scoring confusions, you remember USDGC of
when Macbeth won 21.
Yeah,
maybe?
Kyle Klein and Paul Macbeth, and scores not being necessarily correct. There was another, wasn't it This World's in FPO? I don't know if it's more the fans making it up or there actually was, but between
Ida at the end.
Owen and Ida. Yeah, and why did Ida lay up? And all but like, there's conversation there for sure, but it's tough because you got to kind of know at the same time, is what I'm seeing accurate? You got to believe it because they're putting it up, but then you're like, you change your gameplay to try to throw a birdie when you never do because you think, well, that's what I have to do.
Right.
And so like, it's a tough scenario because you want him at his best, to your point, but you also don't know if you saw that in that throw because it was not his gameplay. So anyways, we're glad he jumped in. I texted him. We'll figure it out. We'll bring you in again. Thanks for sharing to this point. And so we'll do that again with Harry for sure.
Yep.
Our first team challenge, our New England team challenge, is in 2 weeks. So I'm not sure if Harry and Paul are playing the first one back. I don't know, but
Paul's in the championship. Harry will obviously have to decide where he travels to.
Right.
Yeah, USDGC this weekend, Matt, and according to Statmando, Harry has not played there before. So
Okay.
maybe
I feel like he was answering
but
that, and I was like, what is it?
Yeah. No, according to the stats. So, yeah. Good talking with those guys. Obviously, that felt weird at the end with Harry, but otherwise, good.
Brings us back to our roots, the whole show, the weird technical audio, like, at least we're still streaming.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Josh.
literally, I wasn't like joking when I say hopefully Rasmus really is in the event. And how does that work if he doesn't? Do they call Harry?
They
like
have they do have the I don't know what you call them, the understudies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
they do have those people lined up. I know that they usually pass it out to say like, hey, you should be here in case.
But it is interesting because they actually are almost overinflated on the MPO side, right? Because they took the 32 plus the 2 event winners, right? Callaway and Ori Villman, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, I just who knows? Who knows? Well, the answer is the Pro Tour. If they don't know now, they'll make a decision before. So they either already know or they'll figure it out. But anyway, it's a long season. We start the season. And for us in the media side, we've got storylines, we've got things we're watching, we've got the big names, all of that. But these players who like make it a part of their life, it's a whole year of their life. And for many of them, right, they're committing to more than 1 year. And they set out these goals, and it's a real thing, right? Like you heard KRANS and Harry Chase, 2 great examples of they're setting out from the first event. Every stroke on the course matters, finishing place matters, points matter, bringing them all the way to the end, and they set these goals. They all want to win events. But they're also balancing with realistic perspectives, right? And one of those things that really kind of, legitimizes in their mind is making it to the championship because you're consistent enough. And tonight we heard 2 different stories. Paul made it, Harry didn't. Both great players, of course, for us personally, both from New England. But yeah, it's certainly it's been fun watching and brings us to the last event, or last 2 events of the year. As we head into the real ending of the year, there'll be plenty of time to kind of review and debate stuff from the year. But unless you want to bring us somewhere else, I want to spend just a few minutes talking about player of the year. We can debate that again in another week or 2 because you have USDGC, you've got Throw Pink, if you consider that, which is interesting to discuss, and even the championship. And I forget when the Pro Tour announces these. I think it's after the championship, but I'm not sure when they open like the votes and all that. It's got to be soon, I would guess. But when I say debate, let's start with MPO. Is there a debate? I don't think so.
No.
So in past years, there's been debates, right? Like Calvin, Gannon.
I don't even think Isaac
players.
Robinson winning USDGC and the championship would change my mind, but that would make it closer.
It may not change it for actual player of the year, although I'd be like, that's like story of the year because just his performance at majors. But you're right, Matt. It doesn't. How could you argue that it would beat out what Gannon's accomplished? Which is because remember, for Gannon, right, 6 wins and one of them is a major, which was the World Championship. So you're just like, how are you going to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. I'm just saying that would be the only thing that would persuade me to even have a conversation about it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't mean I'd be persuaded. I just mean like that would be like, okay, that's our next person. Like
it would only be that, right? It would be
that's
like,
what I mean.
You would understand why at least one person out there would make the ridiculous take. That's it, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, I know what they're saying, even though it's
kinda, so. Is there any player that could finish out the year and then we'd actually have a conversation, or
not an
MPO?
Gannon? Yeah, Gannon did it.
Yeah.
I mean, even just from a pure win standpoint, Niklas is the closest with 3 wins. But
if Paul won USDGC, if Paul wins USDGC, he's number 2 on the year for me. And if he wins USDGC and finale, there'd be no question that he's number 2. But I think I would still give him number 2 if he wins. I think I'd give him number 2 if he wins championship or USDGC. Paul McBeth, number 2. That's a whole story.
Yeah, there's definitely a fight for number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole fight for number 2.
Yeah,
for sure. Which of course isn't really a thing. Although I do think the Pro Tour did. They give you a couple people who are in the running, and then there's votes, etc. So I imagine Paul and Niklas and whoever else sneaks in there. Yeah, USDGC will be a big deal, but not for player of the year, not an MPO.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That makes sense.
So
I think it'd be more impressive if like someone besides Gannon won Champions Cup though, or not Champions Cup, excuse me, Pro Tour Championships. And the reason being is because Gannon gets to start with a head start. You know, he's up a stroke, 2 strokes, 3 strokes, 4 strokes over certain.
Does that reset after the final round, or is that always part of it?
No, they used to do some of those resets.
Okay.
I'm 95%.
There's no
sure
resets now, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So it'd be more impressive for anyone else to win that. Even the people that are 1, 2, 3 strokes back. I mean, I still think it would be impressive because you're beating Gannon.
It would be impressive, right? But like, it's like, what if you gain?
It's not outweighing.
What if you gain like 3
yeah.
strokes on him in the first 6 holes, which is not likely.
Yeah.
But then at that point, you just reset your mentality.
It just reset
like,
it. Yes.
Now we've got to, just grind it out. And those players,
68 hole,
and those players who are only 1, 2, or 3 strokes behind are all pretty good, confident players. Like they're not.
There's no slouches. There's no slouches.
The people who are 8 strokes behind, they're probably worried about it because first of all, like that's a big margin, and secondly, they probably don't actually think they're as good as Gannon consistently yet. So
some of them they're just playing for money.
As a reminder, right? The player of the year, we're talking about Pro Tour player of the year. And historically it's been 50% media vote and 50% tour card holder vote. So it's voted by media and their peers. So FPO leading up to it. This is where I think, there seems to be a debate. I'm curious if we agree on that. So for FPO, obviously things are a lot tighter. Depending on your perspective. You've got Holland Handley with 4 wins, Silva Saarinen with 4 wins, Missy Gannon with 4 wins, Kristen Lott with 3 wins, and Owen Scoggins with 2 wins, and Evelina with 2 wins.
So take Holland is 4 wins, no major.
Correct.
Missy's 4 wins, 1 major.
Yes.
Silva's 4 wins, 1 major.
Yes.
Owen's 2 wins, 1 major, you said?
Owen has 2 wins.
Okay. Who had 3?
Yes. Kristen.
Okay. I think we can kind of take Kristen out of it, right? Like less wins.
She's not playing. Yeah, she's
not playing the other events. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if she had gotten this win and like Pro Tour Championships, okay, now she's back in the conversation, but she's obviously not playing. So I think I can kind of axe her out of my conversation. So realistically, it comes down to, in my eyes, Silva and Missy. But then you make the argument, how much do we weigh throw pink, right? It's not technically a major, but it has the field of what a major championships would have at it. It just doesn't have the title of a major.
So so answer that. Like what for you? Because I'll give you my answer, but
yeah.
Do you count it?
I think it's major caliber because it's an invite. It's the best players in the world. It has the strongest field that they're going to go against for pretty much the whole year. Minus maybe like the World Championships and U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championships, but I don't know. It's tough to say because it's not. It's not a major, right? So is the pressure still the same for those girls on 16, 17, and 18 coming down the final stretch at Winthrop? So I would count it more so like an Elite Series rather than a major. So I think if Silva or Missy win it, I think that's massive. And I think that's who I would give my, tip my cap to. I think for me to pick Holland, she would have to win Throw Pink and Pro Tour Championships. For one of the other 2 girls, it would have to be winning this event, and that would probably solidify it for me.
We're not debating this right now, Josh, is what you're saying? Or did you say
no,
that?
I'm happy to debate it. Oh. My point is I'm sure we'll have more time to debate it, but I think now is a great time because I am going to debate it.
So there are people online, per usual,
a lot,
that are actually saying Owen Scoggins should win it. And their debate is, if you don't just count FPO, you count all events played by that individual, then you should consider that Owen won 2 world championships, the first ever to do that. I believe, in the same year. And so they're like, when you consider that as a case, she would have the 3 wins, but you're not. So you have to decide, are we strictly just talking, FPO or all pro divisions? I think that's interesting at the very least, because then that would put it closer to a conversation point. And some are saying outright already. But then I'll just simply say, for me right now, and you guys might think I'm a little crazy here, I think Missy gets the nod altogether on it currently as it currently stands. And the reason for that is, and I'm sorry to the European players, I feel like the Turku or Turku, let me look and make sure that's what Silva won, or the Ale Open. Granted, she beat out Kristen. That was good, but I don't know that the field, is that what I'm looking at? Silva, Ale, Preserve, European Disc Golf Festival she won, and the Turku Open. I want to look at the field there. For some reason, I'm feeling like the right, Nick, the field of strength, the strength of field.
I know, right?
I feel like the strength of the field there was not as much as what Missy went up against when Missy won a playoff event at MVP Open. She won D-Glow. She won Cascade Challenge and a major, the Champions Cup, with a really strong field and all. I'm looking at it from that perspective. Otherwise, if you don't care about the strength of field, if you don't care about that as much, and just the wins alone, I actually give it to Silva, because Silva, most consistent season, she's gotten first 4 times. She's gotten second 5 times. That's 9 events on the year where she's first or second. That's incredible. Nobody else, well, you could say nobody else has that record. She has 4 first, 4 second, 2 thirds. So consistent as well, but I just feel like maybe the nod then goes to Silva if you're just looking at wins and podiums. It's tight there. To your point, Nick, we'll see what happens. I think that you could use this at least as some weight for the Throw Pink Championship, some weight for sure.
So I know it's a vote, which means there's always discretion. So I'll just say that. But in my perspective, I don't know how you include Throw Pink. So Nick, like intellectually, I know what you're saying. Like I know how people do it, but for me, I'm like, no, it's not. Like, so make it a major, but it's not. Why is it not a major? Because the PDJ hasn't made it a major, so it's not a major.
You used to say, Josh, what makes it a good event or a big event is based off of the people who are there.
Yeah, well, no, based on the way the play. No, not. I never talked about the strength of the field. I talked about how the players view the event,
and I think they view it. I think they view it as.
No, I think they wish it was a major.
Yeah,
I think they wish it was a major.
Yep.
Which is probably frustrating to them, but they know it's not a major.
But they treat it like it is.
Yeah, maybe. And we've had Missy on the show, and I think she's like, "Cool, it's great to win that event," but I kind of know it's not a major. She said that on this show.
Yes.
Because she can never go around in her career and say, like, I have this many majors from winning this event. She can't do it, and she'll never be able to do it retroactively. Nothing.
No, but I think, and now if we're arguing, debating how she would have looked at this in the past, I think she's right. She can't call it a major. She can't. And that's probably bothered it because it's a big event.
Sure, they're frustrated by it. Yeah.
But I'm saying I think they treat it like a major.
Yeah, they may.
And then when they win, they know they can't claim it. But I think they treat it that way. Everyone wants it.
So I understand the argument.
Yeah.
I don't think it's funny because as a however I want to say this, as a human, I'm sure there's some influencing factor. If somebody goes out and wins that event, it probably somehow like influences me.
Like, what if she wins by like 25 strokes?
Sure. Yeah, so it might influence me, but I actually think right now on paper I'm excluding it.
Okay.
And the championship itself is also out just because it's at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do not understand the people who, again, to your point, Matt, on social media. I didn't actually run a tally, but on one of the posts, I was blown away at how many people are like, "This is ridiculous. It's own hand."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Why would you even vote? It's obviously own. And I'm literally sitting here thinking, like, you're all completely wrong. Like that's crazy. She's won 2 events, one of them being the World Championship in FPO. It's a Disc Golf Pro Tour Player of the Year, DGPT Player of the Year. The events they include are Pro DGPT events and Pro Majors. The award is actually FPO Player of the Year for Elaine King. Because if you're going to start counting other events, then you got to go back and count. Well, what about somebody who wins like tons of like age protected majors? And you're going to say, well, they never even won one on the Pro Tour. Look, here's the thing. I'm not discounting what Owen did. At the time, we said it was amazing. I think it's one of the most inspirational stories of the year. When we do some kind of like year-end recap show, Owen Scoggins will be towards the top of the list. All the credit, like everything. But it's not player of the year because you decide you want to take into account another event that's not like we didn't even talk about that event on our show. Like we like, or if we did, it was like barely mentioned. I probably mentioned like the two winners.
Did. Or you did.
Yeah, but we didn't like talk about the event. So anyway, so with that being said, so my conclusion is it's really tight between Holland and Missy, and I give Missy the nod because of the major. And Matt, yes, when you talk about strength of field, Turku is like 28th of the strongest event this year, according to Statmando. Yeah, way down.
That's like what I'm saying. That's why I did that. So I'm glad I actually had that right.
Yeah. So it's like, I shouldn't even have to say this, not to discredit what Holland and Silva and others have done. Like, it's incredible. But you're trying to say it's a game of margins, and Missy eked it out, which is kind of crazy because early on, Holland had such a strong start, and then she had this big, like, kind of mess up. And if she just performed in one of those events, she probably gets player of the year, right? Because if she had 5 wins, even though Missy had a major, if you actually look at their head-to-head, Holland has slightly outperformed Missy head-to-head. But we weight that major quite a bit. And that Champions Cup field was pretty strong.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
So anyway, that's my perspective. We'll have a little more time to let it settle, and maybe somebody on the internet will sway one of us.
So in your mind, like, just kind of going back on it, in your mind, like, you're saying these two events don't count whatsoever, kind of in your mentality towards it? I think I would count the Pro Tour Championships higher than throw pin. That's me personally.
Yes, me too. And that's what's interesting is I don't remember when they have the voting happening, because I would say that event.
I think it's after.
Because I think that'd be huge. I mean, if we're talking about the Disc Golf Pro Tour Player of the Year, then that's the final Disc Golf Pro Tour event, right? Like, it's
so I'm in on that. That's why it's not settled. So I'm in on that. If Holland comes out and wins that, I don't know where I land, but it may be Holland. That's how close it is.
I would say.
And are you taking Silva out of the conversation completely?
Well, if Silva wins it, so that's where it's like, I feel like you still have those.
So it's a 3-way race.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
And maybe throw Pinks in there because we can be swayed by feelings, but the championship is the deal breaker for one of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The reason why, and I don't know anybody else feels this way, the Pro Tour Championship or the Pro Tour Finale is a harder one for me. I actually lean a little bit. I see all sides of it. Like, I see Throw Pink as not being what it is, but they treat it like what it is. And the championship feels like it's got a big name to it. And maybe one day it will be classified a major. But what I don't like, it's a fun format, but for the sake of conversation, I don't like the stroke advantage, because then it's fair. It's for what the Tour Championship should be, but it almost doesn't feel like a straight up event. Like, if at the end of the day, I don't know, let me just say somebody who is way out of it makes up so close. They played better than the person did, but they were still one stroke shy because they were gifted that one stroke or whatever, like, it just doesn't feel like their performance was better, is what I'm trying to say. Even though they started with a stroke deficit, their performance could be better than the person who won it. And then you'd be like, dude, they played better stroke for stroke. So anyways, it makes for a fun conversation.
Yeah, the main thing that made me toss it on the show tonight is, obviously we're getting closer into the year, the fact that I thought something can probably still be won or lost by one of these FPO players. Yeah. And the fact that the internet was so strong on Owen Scoggins being the no questions asked player.
Because it's the feel good pick.
Yeah, that's why I agree. Yeah. Like, I completely, that's why I said it's the most incredible thing. Maybe it's number one on the inspirational story of the year. Like, if you look down the list of like stories.
Would people pick Ida as player of the year?
I don't know. Did she win another world championship? Look, I get the point. Like, it's incredible. Owen literally goes out and wins an age-protected division, world championship, and wins the FPO world championship. Incredible. Right? Yeah. Like, I can say that and say, but we're talking about the player of the year on the Pro Tour. So, and she won one Pro Tour event.
Yeah.
She won one Pro Tour event and one major. A big major.
The biggest major. Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It's kind of tough to add in the FP40 one, because when we talk about, strength of the field of strength, when we talk about that, like, that's arguably probably the lowest strength
Yeah.
of the field that's out
Yeah.
there. And I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, that's what I'm saying. None of us are
like she's
discrediting
competing against, Jen Allen, Sarah Hokum,
Well,
Zoe Ann Dyke, and
part of that lends itself to the story, though, Nick, too, is that somebody who can play in FP40, and I hate to say it that way, but somebody who can play there did win Pro Open Worlds, too. So it's like, that's also incredible, because like you don't see many people coming out of FP40 going and winning Worlds, like nobody, at least on the same year. So
yeah. No, I get that. It's just I lean more towards what Josh is saying, so I don't really consider that into the conversation. Yeah, I don't really consider it into the conversation.
If we had to come down,
it's
down
awesome.
to tiebreakers, if we had to come down to tiebreakers and everybody had the same stats and we're like, well, own one FP40 Worlds, I might be swayed.
Yeah.
But we have other players who have more wins as well as majors, and it just sounds like that's probably the better.
It's just like, because it's a vote, everybody's allowed to be subjective, so I'm fine with that. But my approach to this is attempting not to be purely subjective. So I'd even be like, I don't care that you went and won that event. I'm looking at, like, it should be like, take the name off of it. This is not what it is, by the way. I'm not actually, but take the name off of it and give me some stats. And let me say which of these statistical results was the best for the year. And what I'm looking at is Pro Tour events, majors, primarily, right? Maybe the strength of the field as a differentiator between wins. And then from there, if you were literally dead heat, you might look at average performance and head-to-head performance. So anyway, Pro Tour, send me a ballot this year. Ballot this year. Get me in on that.
Yeah, give me a ballot.
They will, or I don't know if they will. I mean, if I get the email again, I'll ask about that. But
I used to be on it, and then they took me off. They said I was too vocal about who I was going to vote for.
I don't know if
I'm joking. That's joking.
We probably need to wrap up here in just a minute, but I don't know also other things you might look at as besides even average, just trend of the season. So Missy won earlier on for sure, back to back. She took some time off. No, Missy did. Champions Cup.
Oh, sure.
And I don't mean early. I just mean earlier in the season. Champions Cup and Cascade Challenge. And then she's now later on doing it again. Whereas you see others trends like Holland, very front loaded. Like very front loaded on the season. Silva, very middle loaded, if you will, literally. And so you have Missy with this gap of time where she did it in the beginning, she's doing it at the end. I think that's interesting as well. But we made it to the end of the show, and we're getting close to the end of the season. We'll have more on that as we come down the stretch. But again, this is the last chance for Pop Drop Lock Picks. Get that in. We'll announce the winner next week, as well as just all the fun that goes along with that. And we'll see if we can get Harry lined up again here. See how he performs down at USDGC. Ben will likely be back, I would imagine. He says he just landed down there, I think, in Charlotte. And I thought Josh was frozen again.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, we made it to the end of the show. We thank everyone for listening per usual. If you listen to us all the time, it's fun because people, like even one of the vendors that went out to Maple Hill, Hole 11, and I forget your name. I'm sorry, good sir. It's probably Dave. If I'm wrong in that, I apologize. Made a grilled cheese sandwich for me. And
what a guy.
Yeah. And he said, he's like, might be kind of weird. Like, we all know who you are. Like, we come up to you, we talk to you, like we hear you every week. We listen to you for hours, and you don't know us, but we feel that feeling. So we feel like you're a friend. And I'm like, that's cool. I'm a friend, like, so, like we love that. And we appreciate all that. We know that you guys listen in every week. And so those of you who are hearing my voice right now, I sincerely mean that. We appreciate that. It's fun for us. There have been many times in 6 years where I've said, this is too much for my life. And it always comes up, but there's people who this is valuable to at some level. Not that we're important, but like in your life, you listen to us, and I don't know if we'll keep doing this forever, but we're enjoying it while it lasts, and we appreciate everyone who listens and tunes in. So, Nick, you want to give us the closeout tonight?
Absolutely. Like Matt just said, thank you everybody for tuning in on this wonderful Monday night. USDGC week is here. If you don't have DGN, subscribe to it. Get it. It's the final event, big event of the year. Major Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championships, then obviously the Pro Tour Championships. Solid last 2 weeks to finish out. I'm excited to see them all back in Lynchburg, Virginia again too. It's going to be a sweet old time. So thank you, everybody. Check us out on all your favorite podcast platforms. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Tell someone you love them this week. We'll catch you guys all in the next one.
Later.
That's right. Until next time, everybody, we'll catch you out there. Peace.